Welcome, friend, to Dream Bites, a podcast where the magic of storytelling meets the power of imagination. Each episode is a warm invitation to explore a world unlike any other, carefully crafted to transport you to new realms of wonder. So, find a cozy spot, settle in, and let the friendly voice of our narrator be your guide on this exciting adventure. And now, dear listener, it's time to embark on today's delightful story.
Zen's Sports Adventures. The Giraffe's Goalpost Dilemma. Chapter 1. Gerry's Goalpost Troubles. The sun beat down on the lush savannah, casting long shadows across the soccer field. Gerry the giraffe galloped across the grass, his hooves kicking up tufts of dirt as he chased after the ball. The warm breeze ruffled his fur, and the scent of wild acacia flowers filled his nostrils. Gerry loved nothing more than playing soccer with his friends, reveling in the thrill of the game. But as Gerry neared the opposing team's goal, he suddenly realized he had misjudged his speed. With a resounding thud, Gerry collided with the goalpost, his long neck tangling in the net. "Ouch!" he yelped, rubbing his sore head with his hoof. "Gerry, are you all right?" Millie the meerkat scurried over, her brow furrowed with concern. The other animals, including Zack the zebra and Ellie the elephant, gathered around their fallen teammate. Gerry sighed, his long neck drooping. "I'm just too tall for this game," he mumbled, untangling himself from the net. "I keep hitting the goalposts, and I can't seem to control the ball very well." He glanced at his friends, feeling a pang of embarrassment. Zack placed a comforting hoof on Gerry's shoulder. "Don't be so hard on yourself, Gerry. We all have our strengths and weaknesses." Ellie nodded, her trunk swaying gently. "Zack's right. You just need to find a way to use your height to your advantage." Gerry appreciated their kind words, but he couldn't shake the feeling of discouragement that settled in his chest. As he sat on the sidelines, watching his friends continue the game, he noticed Zen the koala watching him from a nearby acacia tree. Zen was known throughout the savannah as a wise and mysterious soccer coach, his eyes always twinkling with a hint of mischief. Zen hopped down from his perch and approached Gerry, his steps light and purposeful. "Why the long face, young Gerry?" Zen asked, his voice soft and knowing. Gerry explained his struggles, gesturing to the goalposts that seemed to mock him. "I'm thinking about quitting soccer," he admitted, his voice barely a whisper. "I don't think I'm cut out for it." Zen smiled, his eyes crinkling at the corners. He placed a paw on Gerry's shoulder, his touch warm and reassuring. "Ah, but sometimes the tallest tree provides the best view of the forest," he said, his words hanging in the air like a riddle. Gerry tilted his head, confusion etched on his face. "What do you mean, Coach Zen?" Zen chuckled softly, a glimmer of wisdom dancing in his eyes. "You'll see, young Gerry, you'll see." With that, he turned and hopped back into the tree, disappearing among the rustling leaves. As the sun began to set over the savannah, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink, Gerry walked home, his mind swirling with thoughts of soccer, goalposts, and Zen's mysterious words. He wondered what the future held for him, and if he would ever find a way to overcome his height on the soccer field. But deep down, a small spark of hope flickered in his heart, whispering that maybe, just maybe, Zen was right. Maybe his height was not a hindrance, but a unique gift waiting to be discovered. Chapter 2. The Unconventional Training Begins. The next morning, as the sun peeked over the horizon, casting a warm glow across the savannah, Gerry arrived at the soccer field with a mix of anticipation and nervousness tingling in his hooves. Zen was already there, perched on a low-hanging acacia branch, his eyes closed in meditation. As Gerry approached, Zen opened one eye and smiled. "Welcome, Gerry. Are you ready to embrace your unique qualities?" Gerry nodded, his throat suddenly dry. "I think so, Coach Zen, but I'm not sure how my height can be anything but a problem on the soccer field." Zen hopped down from the tree, his movements fluid and graceful. "Ah, but that's where you're wrong, young Gerry. Your height is a gift, not a hindrance. Come, let me show you." Zen led Gerry to the center of the field, where the goalposts had been raised, towering even above Gerry's head. Gerry's eyes widened, a mix of awe and apprehension coursing through his body. "Coach Zen, what's going on?" he asked, his voice trembling slightly. Zen placed a reassuring paw on Gerry's shoulder. "Sometimes we must adapt our environment to suit our needs," he explained, his voice calm and soothing. "These goalposts are tailored specifically for you, Gerry. They will help you learn to control your movements and use your height to your advantage." Gerry felt a flicker of hope ignite in his chest, warming him from the inside out. Maybe Zen was right. Maybe his height wasn't a weakness after all. "But that's not all," Zen continued, gesturing towards a nearby grove where colourful silk fabrics hung from the branches, swaying gently in the breeze. "We'll also be incorporating aerial yoga into your training regimen. It will help you develop better body control and spatial awareness." Gerry's teammates, who had begun to gather around, murmured amongst themselves. Some looked sceptical, their eyes narrowed and their tails twitching. Others seemed intrigued, their ears perked up and their heads tilted in curiosity. "Trust the process, young ones," Zen advised, his voice carrying a hint of mystery. "Each of you has unique strengths waiting to be discovered." With that, Zen guided Gerry to the silk fabrics and began leading him through a series of gentle stretches and poses. At first, Gerry felt awkward and ungainly, his long limbs tangling in the fabric like vines in a dense jungle. But as he focused on Zen's soothing instructions and his own breathing, he slowly began to find his balance, his body swaying with the breeze. As the training session progressed, Gerry moved with greater ease and precision, his muscles stretching and flexing in ways he never thought possible. He even managed to navigate the raised goalposts without a single collision, his hooves grazing the grass with newfound agility. His teammates watched in awe, their initial doubts melting away like the morning mist. Gerry couldn't help but smile, a sense of pride and accomplishment blooming in his heart. Zen's unconventional methods were already making a difference, showing him that his height was not a limitation, but a strength waiting to be harnessed. As the sun climbed higher in the sky, Gerry approached Zen, his eyes shining with gratitude. "Coach Zen, I'm starting to see what you meant about embracing my unique qualities. Thank you for believing in me." Zen smiled, his eyes crinkling with warmth. "Remember, Gerry, the path to greatness is rarely straightforward. Trust in yourself and keep an open mind, and you will find your way." With those words echoing in his mind, Gerry left the field, his heart lighter and his spirit invigorated. He knew the journey ahead would be challenging, but with Zen's guidance and his own determination, he was ready to face whatever obstacles lay ahead. The unconventional training had only just begun, but Gerry could already feel the winds of change rustling through his fur, carrying him towards a future full of possibilities. Chapter 3. Setbacks and Breakthroughs. Gerry huffed as he wiggled free from the silky ribbons, his long legs wobbly after another missed attempt at the tricky move. He had been practicing Zen's special training for weeks, but it was hard, and he was starting to feel upset. "I just can't do it," Gerry frowned, his usual smile gone. "Maybe soccer isn't for me after all." Zen, who had been watching Gerry from his tree, hopped down and put a furry paw on the young giraffe's shoulder. "Patience, Gerry," he said, his voice soft and kind. "Even the tallest tree starts as a tiny seed." Gerry looked at his coach, his eyes big and worried. "But what if I never get it? What if I let everyone down?" Zen smiled, his eyes sparkling with understanding. "Let me tell you a story, Gerry. When I was a little koala, I had trouble finding my place in soccer too. I was smaller and slower than the other animals, and I wanted to quit lots of times." Gerry's eyes grew wide with surprise. He always thought Zen was born great at soccer. "Really? You had a hard time too?" Zen nodded, remembering his own struggles. "Yes, but I didn't give up. I practiced every day. I asked for help from those smarter than me, and most importantly, I never stopped believing in myself. And guess what? Little by little, I got better. I found my own special way of playing, one that worked with what made me unique." Gerry listened closely, feeling a flicker of hope in his heart. If Zen could do it, maybe he could too. "The secret, Gerry," Zen continued, "is to keep going, even when it feels like you're stuck. Believe in yourself and trust the journey. The big moments will come." Inspired by Zen's words, Gerry took a deep breath and nodded. "Okay, Coach Zen, I'll keep trying. I won't give up." With that, Gerry went back to his training, his body moving with new focus and purpose. He still stumbled and got tangled sometimes, but he didn't let it get him down. Instead, he used each mistake as a chance to learn and grow. As the days turned into weeks, Gerry started to see little changes in how he played. His feet moved more smoothly, his balance felt sturdier. He even scored a goal during practice, making his friends cheer with joy. "Did you see that?" Gerry beamed, his eyes shining with pride. "I did it! I really did it!" Zen smiled, his heart warm with pride for his young student. "Great job, Gerry. You're making wonderful progress. Remember, every small win is a step toward your dream." Gerry grinned, feeling like he could tackle anything. He knew he still had a lot to learn, but for the first time, he truly believed he could reach his goals. With Zen's help and his own hard work, nothing was impossible. As the sun began to set, painting the sky in pretty pinks and oranges, Gerry and his friends packed up their soccer gear, their hearts full of friendship and excitement. They had all seen Gerry's growth, and it made them want to work harder on their own skills too. Gerry looked up at the colourful sky, feeling peaceful and happy. He knew there would be more tough times ahead, but he also knew he was strong enough to handle them. With a big smile, he headed home, ready for whatever fun tomorrow would bring. Chapter 4. The Big Match. As the morning sun cast a warm glow over the savannah, Gerry arrived at the soccer field, his heart pounding with a mix of excitement and nervousness. Today was the day of the big match against the rival team, the Savannah Speedsters, and Gerry knew he would need to put all his training to the test. Zen greeted Gerry with a serene smile, his eyes twinkling with encouragement. "Remember, Gerry," he said, placing a reassuring paw on the giraffe's shoulder. "Trust in your training and your unique abilities. You have worked hard to get here, and you are ready for this challenge." Gerry took a deep breath, letting Zen's words wash over him like a soothing breeze. He thought back to the hours he had spent practicing aerial yoga, learning to control his body and use his height to his advantage. He remembered the setbacks he had faced and the breakthroughs he had achieved. With a nod of determination, Gerry joined his teammates on the field. "All right, everyone," Zack the zebra said, his voice filled with enthusiasm. "Let's show these speedsters what the Savannah Stars are made of." "Yeah!" Ellie the elephant trumpeted, her trunk raised high in the air. "We've got this!" The whistle blew, and the game began. The air buzzed with excitement as the players darted across the field, their hooves kicking up clouds of dust. The Savannah Stars started strong, with Katie the kangaroo scoring an early goal, the ball soaring past the speedster's goalie. "Great job, Katie!" Millie the meerkat cheered, giving her teammate a high five. But the speedsters were quick to retaliate, their cheetah striker weaving through the defence with lightning speed and precision. The score was tied, and the tension on the field was palpable. As the game progressed, Gerry found himself in the thick of the action. His long legs allowed him to cover more ground than the other players, and his aerial training gave him an edge when it came to winning headers and making precise passes. "Nice one, Gerry!" Zack called out as Gerry intercepted a pass from the speedster's midfielder. But the speedsters were relentless, their quick feet and sharp turns keeping the stars on their toes. The sound of hooves pounding against the earth and the roar of the crowd filled the air. With just minutes left in the game, the score remained tied, and the pressure was mounting. That's when Gerry spotted an opportunity. From his vantage point at the top of the field, he noticed a gap in the speedster's defence, a weakness that the other players had overlooked. In a split second, Gerry made a decision. Instead of charging towards the goal himself, Gerry sent a perfect cross to Millie, who was waiting in the perfect position. The ball soared through the air, spinning with precision and power. "Go, Millie!" Gerry shouted, his voice filled with anticipation. With a swift kick, Millie sent the ball hurtling towards the net. The speedster's goalie leapt, her hooves stretching out to block the shot, but it was too late. The ball sailed past her outstretched arms and into the back of the net, just as the final whistle blew. The Savannah Stars erupted in cheers, their voices rising above the roar of the crowd. They rushed to surround Millie and Gerry, their faces beaming with joy and pride. "We did it!" Ellie exclaimed, her trunk wrapping around her teammates in a massive hug. "That assist was incredible, Gerry," Zack said, his eyes shining with admiration. "You really used your height to your advantage." Gerry grinned, realising that Zen had been right all along. His height wasn't a hindrance, but a gift that he could use to help his team succeed. As the team celebrated, Zen approached Gerry, a knowing smile on his face. "Well done, Gerry," he said, his voice filled with warmth. "You showed true sportsmanship today. You used your unique abilities not for personal glory, but to lift your team to victory." Gerry felt a rush of emotion, his heart swelling with gratitude and pride. He had once seen his height as an obstacle, but now he understood that it was a part of what made him special, a strength that he could use to make a difference. As the sun began to set over the savannah, casting a golden glow over the field, Gerry and his teammates gathered together, their laughter and chatter filling the air. They had faced a tough challenge and emerged victorious, not just as individual players, but as a true team. And as Gerry looked around at the smiling faces of his friends, he knew that this was just the beginning. With Zen's guidance, his teammates' support, and his own determination, he was ready to take on any challenge that came his way. The Savannah would remember this day, not just as the day the Savannah Stars won the big match, but as the day Gerry discovered the true power of embracing what made him unique. Chapter 5. Embracing Differences, Celebrating Victory. The Savannah Stars gathered around Gerry and Millie, their cheers and laughter echoing across the field. The warm breeze rustled through their fur as they celebrated their hard-fought victory. Gerry's heart swelled with pride and joy as his teammates praised his game-changing assist. "Gerry, that pass was unbelievable," Zach exclaimed, his eyes wide with admiration. "I never knew a giraffe could have such a perfect aerial view of the field." Katie bounced up and down, her kangaroo tail twitching with excitement. "You really used your height to your advantage, Gerry. That's what I call embracing your differences." Gerry grinned, feeling a warm blush spread beneath his golden brown fur. "Thanks, everyone," he said, his voice filled with gratitude. "But it was Millie's incredible goal that sealed our victory. I couldn't have done it without her." Millie beamed, her tiny meerkat paws still shaking with adrenaline. "We all played our parts, Gerry. That's what being a team is all about, using our unique strengths to lift each other up." As the Savannah Stars revelled in their triumph, the Savannah Speedsters approached, their faces a mix of disappointment and respect. The cheetah striker, who had been Gerry's toughest opponent, stepped forward and extended a paw. "Gerry, you played an amazing game," she said, her voice sincere. "I've never seen a giraffe move with such grace and precision on the field. You've shown me that differences can be a powerful asset." Gerry shook the cheetah's paw, feeling a surge of appreciation for her sportsmanship. "Thank you," he replied, his eyes shining with newfound confidence. "I've learned that embracing what makes me unique is the key to being my best self." As the teams parted ways, Zen hopped over to Gerry, a wise smile on his furry face. "You've come a long way, young Gerry," he said, his voice warm with pride. "Do you remember the first lesson I taught you?" Gerry nodded, thinking back to Zen's cryptic advice. "You said that sometimes the tallest tree provides the best view of the forest." Zen chuckled, his eyes twinkling like stars. "And today, you proved that a tall tree can also help its friends reach new heights. Always remember, Gerry, that your differences are your greatest gifts. Use them to lift others up, and you'll find true success and happiness." As the sun began to set over the savannah, painting the sky in brilliant hues of orange and pink, Gerry and his teammates gathered for one last joyful cheer. They had faced challenges, overcome obstacles, and learned the power of embracing their unique qualities. Gerry looked around at his friends, feeling a sense of belonging and purpose that filled his heart to the brim. He knew that this was just the beginning of their adventures together, and with Zen's wisdom and his own newfound confidence, he was ready to face any challenge that lay ahead. With a spring in his step and a smile on his face, Gerry walked off into the sunset, the tall grass tickling his legs. He had learned to stand tall, not just in height, but in character. And he knew that as long as he stayed true to himself and used his gifts to help others, there was no limit to what he could achieve. The end.
And there you have it, dear listener. Another enchanting journey brought to life by the magic of storytelling. We hope that this tale has sparked your imagination and left you with a sense of wonder. As we close this chapter, remember that there's always another story waiting to be discovered. So keep your sense of curiosity alive and join us again for the next episode of Dream Bites. Until then, May your own adventures be filled with the same excitement and delight as the ones we've shared here. And always remember, the power of imagination knows no bounds. Thank you for being a part of the Dream Bites story. See you next time.